Play that song, Orlando Magic fans, because the Magic have done it again. They beat the Knicks 103-94, shorthanded, everybody out on a back-to-back on the road, and Cole Anthony is the man of the hour, 24 points. That led the Orlando Magic. That was tied for the game high. Oh my goodness, the New York Knicks didn't have Karl-Anthony Towns, but it didn't matter because every single team that we play is not as shorthanded as the Orlando Magic are. We still got Paolo Banchero out. We still got Franz Wagner out. Mo Wagner, unfortunately, out for the year. And Jalen Suggs, obviously, is out as he just recently got hurt and was not able to play. We stuck with the same starting lineup as last night. Cole Anthony, KCP, Caleb Houston, shout out. Bataze and Tristan Da Silva, the rookie. Before we get into this entire game, and oh my God, I'm going to sound like a broken record because I can't believe we're winning shorthanded. Guys, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel, Magic Digest here. We are trying to build an Orlando Magic basketball community here on YouTube, and most of you guys who are viewing the channel regularly aren't subscribed, so it's free and it's easy and it's the best way to support the channel. 84.1% of you guys join the almost 16% and subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers very soon. Oh my God, this is unbelievable. This is the box score from the game if you missed it. This game was led by Cole Anthony and Wendell Carter Jr. Wendell Carter Jr. arguably probably had the better game, I would say. 8 of 11 from the field, 3 of 3 from 3, 19 points. He was super reliable. Jonathan Isaac also chose a very good time to show up offensively. He played extremely well. Cole Anthony, I'm just going to give him his flowers right now just because you guys know, if you've been here long enough, I was the one who was saying to trade him. I was open to the De'Aaron Fox moves. I was open to, package deals with Jalen Suggs before the year started, before we signed him, of course. And I was completely wrong. And I just cannot believe that this team beat the Knicks tonight. I know they didn't have Karl-Anthony Towns. I know that's a huge part of their game and why they beat us 3 times prior to this. But I am just so floored and so impressed with the way that this team is playing basketball. And we don't have it every single night. I'll give you that. We don't have it every single night. Last night, I could have gotten up here and said, this team needs help. We need help offensively. Oh my God, we can't score at all. There are nights like that. There are going to be nights like that until we get Paolo Banchero back, which is probably going to be at the end of the week. But until we get him back, there's going to be nights like last night. But to have any of the nights like tonight, it's just nothing short of amazing. It's astounding. The other teams in the NBA should be on high alert, should be on notice that this can happen. I get the New York Knicks obviously did not have Karl-Anthony Towns. I will keep saying that because I recognize that they didn't have everybody, but they had everybody else. And I know they only went 8 deep, but what else are they going to do, right? That's their head coach. But the Knicks had every reason to want to win this game. They're 24-13 now. They're only 3 games ahead in the loss column, 2 games ahead in the win column of the Orlando Magic. They had every reason to win this game and just went out there, and we were able to play Jalen Brunson hard. He fouled out with a minute to go. Some other players like Bridges played well. Josh Hart still ended up playing pretty well. But for the most part, the Orlando Magic were able to control the game beyond the first quarter. And that was super impressive. Hats off to this entire team. Obviously want to highlight Cole Anthony before I get into just what kind of job Jamahl Mosley has been doing. Cole Anthony has come back from his slump and is, I would say, officially not slumping anymore because the minutes that he's getting, the trust, 37 minutes tonight, that led the team, is undeniable how much he's playing and how big of an impact he is. He's the heart and soul of this team. He is the culture. We talk a lot about Heat culture down in South Florida. Well, in Central Florida, the Orlando Magic's culture resides with Cole Anthony, the king of New York. There's no doubt about it. I'm so sorry. Sometimes I'm in a little bit of a loss for words, but he's been playing extremely well. As I mentioned earlier, I did want to highlight Wendell Carter Jr. These are his season stats. Not really all that great, but he's been moved to that bench role behind Bataze, and he's excelled in that role. But obviously, his statistics are going to take a little bit of a hit when you see it from face value. But tonight, he played extremely well. Just to reiterate, 19 points, 3 for 3 from 3, 8 of 11 from the floor, clutch buckets down the stretch. Wendell Carter Jr. played extremely well. This entire team played extremely well. Caleb Houston starting in his second game in a row. I mean, I get it. He didn't score a bucket, but I'm just impressed with everybody. It doesn't matter if you don't score. I'm impressed with anybody. Obviously, Jonathan Isaac and Wendell Carter Jr. picked up the front court scoring. But I'm impressed with everybody. Anthony Black returned tonight as well. That was a nice boost in the backcourt. He shot well from the free throw line tonight, But at the end of the day, still impressive. Jett Howard also seems like he's more than just a 3-point guy, which is super important for this team and the depth of this team. And that's kind of one of the better things about this team. Now, I want to talk about how Jamahl Mosley has absolutely taken this team by storm. I made a video over the summer about the Athletic, I believe, or maybe it was CBS Sports, ranked the coaches in the NBA. They didn't give Jamahl Mosley his flowers. They said it was a little too early. They said, look, we have seen them take generous leaps and bounds in the standings in the Eastern Conference, but they haven't won a playoff series, and you can pretty much chalk it up to Franz entering the building and taking that next step, and then Paolo Banchero entering the building and taking that next step. And Jamahl Mosley's shown he's a good coach, but we may need to see more situational stuff, and there were some concerns there. I get that. I think that now should be thrown out the window because Jamahl Mosley's got to be, based off of what I'm seeing right now, a legitimate top 10 head coaching season at the very least this year, and I think he should win the coach of the year because there's just no possible way that anybody's doing as good of a job. Kenley Atkinson won the head coaching the Coach of the Month award in the Eastern Conference for the month of December. I will respect that because the Cavs, I believe, went like 12-1, and unfortunately for the Magic, they weren't able to get any of the other awards such as Rookie of the Month or or even Player of the Month, which they obviously weren't going to get that or anything along those lines. But they came up short on that sort of end and just continue to be underrated and not talked about enough. I know some people are noticing how well this team is playing, but I will say the Kenny Atkinson winning the Coach of the Month award it's not really like that I would be too butthurt about it necessarily. I get it. The Magic went 5-7, so at a certain point you got to rein things in, right, for the month of December. But this roster, and I'm not trying to discredit some of these guys, but this roster to win this many games and to know that this team is going to come out on top on a game that they shouldn't every other game essentially is so impressive. And you have to say, hey, who is responsible for this? And it's got to be Jamahl Mosley. This has been an absolute just shower of compliments for the Orlando Magic. There's still some things of concern. Obviously, like I mentioned, the offense at certain times isn't really what it needs to be. They shot a ton of threes in the game last night. They need to clean some of that sort of stuff up. If it's not falling, get smarter shots, smarter buckets. But with Anthony Black coming back, I think they'll finally get like a true facilitator in the rotation. He was like available last night and wasn't played. Tonight he played 26 minutes, so a quick turnaround. I would say he seems to be healthy, but they're just going to use him and try to figure out how to use him and try to use him in the most efficient way possible. Paolo Banchero is inching very, very close to a return. Franz Wagner says he's feeling good, so he might not be too far behind Paolo Banchero, but we know Paolo Banchero's been saying that he's been healthy for a while now and hasn't really made it back out on the court just yet. So we'll have to wait and see if they're going to be on the same timeline, just Franz is, a month behind, or what the situation is. Maybe he's eyeing All-Star break, post-All-Star break. We'll have to see for Franz, but Paolo Banchero's coming back very soon. And this team, the way that they're playing, I said this before the new year happened when they were going on that serious run of all of those games, and they beat the Celtics with pretty much nobody and just came back on the Nets as well. This team, if they can insert those two guys as well as Jalen Suggs, cannot believe it, barely even talked about him not being out there, which is a slight concern on whether or not he's going to be healthy. But with those three guys not in the rotation, not out on the floor, if they can get back into the rotation, Jamahl Mosley's shown he's a great coach, and can take this team as they're playing right now, add those three guys, this team realistically cannot lose to very many teams in a 7-game series in the NBA. I would really just put the Celtics and I would take the Magic over the Cavs and the Knicks right now. The way that they are playing, and the Bucks and the Pacers, 100,000%, no doubt about it. And the Heat, just forget about it. Like, truthfully. And then whatever, we'll talk about the Western Conference if the finals ever comes. But I'm being serious. Like, this team, the way that they're playing, if you add those guys, can beat every single team in the NBA in a 7-game series. I just wouldn't pick them against the Celtics. Unbelievable praise. I know if you guys might think I'm crazy. I know I've seen some people say, hey, we need to make a move to get somebody real. There are going to be some rough nights with this exact roster when you don't have your top 3 guys and then top 4 scorers and on the court and playing basketball. But this team, unbelievable. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If this is a bit of an overreaction or not, I'm here. Let me take it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys next time with some more Orlando Magic basketball content.